Welcome to another episode of the Dealer Talk Podcast. This is your host, Herb Anderson. Thank you so much for tuning in. Today, I am very, very excited. I'm going to have a conversation with a very good friend of mine, somebody that I've connected with on LinkedIn. We've met each other at different trade shows, different events. For the very first time, Mr. Jason Geras. What's up, brother? How are you, dude?
Woo! Hello. I'm
excited.
Dude. I'm excited. My first live podcast with anybody. So I'm honored to have you do the first one for me. And actually, if it's my last, it's okay too. But I'm very grateful to be on your show today.
This is the first of many, man. This is the first of many for sure. Dude, so what's up, man? It's crazy times right now, right? What where are you at with everything? I typically start with a background, but just things are so crazy right now. I just like, what's going on in your world, dude? How are you seeing things?
Well, I see things black and white. I see we have a problem, and during a problem, we work on the problem first. And so I don't see us worried about ourselves, our businesses so much. I think, my concentration right now is worried about the people in all industries, not just the car business. Even though I'm in the car business, this is a people business. And so I'm more concerned about lifting everybody I can and just keeping everybody positive. And so daily, every day I go out to make sure that even like you, I called you up to say it's going to be okay. And I gave you some good thoughts and ideas and how to get through it and how not to be, everybody's being reactive right now. And what we got to do is make everybody proactive. Once we do that, we get rid of the reactive and we go proactive, then people will start building confidence up, and then we can start moving forward. Everybody's hurting. Everybody's hurting. And that is everybody. And I say the bills are piled up. The bills are stacking up for everybody. And we're all worried. And everybody's, concerned. And everybody's, not sure. And we lived in a sure life before. And now we're living in an unsure life. But I can assure you, we're going to be okay. We're going to be okay. We're going to come out of this stronger than ever. And I assure you that if anything, we're going to learn from this. And we all are going to learn so much from this. And so where am I with it? And just like everybody else, I think everybody is in the same exact spot. And, nobody's better than anybody anymore. That's interesting. Money doesn't matter anymore. Who cares how much money you have? Who cares how famous you are anymore? None of that matters. It doesn't matter what club you belong to anymore. There are some positive things about this. We can all wake up and realize that, we're all just as equal as one another. And we all have the same bills coming in. And we all wipe with the same toilet paper. And we're all out of it. Where are we right now? Like you said, where is that mind? Yeah. So, that's, when I talk about where are we, I talk about where are we. And before I say work, and I want to talk about business, I want to talk about we. And we, I, you, us, friend, what are they doing? And I'm gonna say that right now is the time, Herb, to harvest. We need to harvest now. What I mean by that is we need to make sure that our customers, our people, everybody is okay. By doing that, we are harvesting. And what I mean by that is when the shiny day comes back, it's going to come back. Everybody is going to remember who reached out to who during those times.
Well, let's
And
let's talk about that for a second, Jason, because that's a really good point, right? To keep it, within the automotive industry, and I know that there's a bigger message there, and I definitely appreciate that. But just for those folks that are in our industry that are, I don't know, they're doom and gloom and they're looking at the negative side of things. How important do you think it is right now, like you say, to harvest and to reach out those customers that we already have relationships with, that bought from us in the past, that service their vehicles at our dealerships? How important is it for us to just call, no agenda, right? No incentives, no gimmick. Just honestly, just call the customer and be like, hey, how you doing? I just want to make sure that you're okay. You know what I mean? And kind of just leave it at that. Do you think that that's a smart approach? Like, what are your thoughts?
what are my thoughts? I'll tell you my thoughts on that. My whole career in sales was always a conversation starter. And it was about how are they doing? What are they doing? What are they up to? It was about starting a relationship. And this is what this whole business is about. It's about relationships. And
Sure.
so when we talk about harvesting, what we're really talking about is watch this wording. Watch the words that come out of your mouth. Watch this. Hi, Herb. How you doing? I just wanted to check in on you, make sure that you're okay, letting you know that I'm thinking about you during this hard time. And then I promise you, we're going to get through this. And listen, if you need anything in the time, I know I can't go nowhere near 6 feet from you, and I know that I can't get anywhere with you. But guess what? If you need a phone call, anything I can do to help you, I'm right there. I'm not going to forget you. I know that I was your car salesman before. And you know what? In this hard time that we're having right now, I want to let you know how much I appreciate you now, because you know what I did? I overlooked the appreciation value before, but now in this hard time, I appreciate people and things and simple things a lot more. And I want to let you know I'm thinking about you during this hard time. Now, how hard is it for somebody to say that message to somebody, to lift somebody up and to be remembered? Well, let me explain this to you. I sold a lot of cars in my time, a lot. I operated in the United States, the #1 Facebook page engaged, automotive engagement, meaning the most likes, shares, comment, the most engaged automotive Facebook pages in the nation. And I got the proof on that, but that doesn't matter. But I want to explain this to you. I've done some really neat things in life, and the way I did it was I built a relationship to be able to do it. I'm on your show today. Why am I on your show today? One, I met you, I spoke to you online, I lifted you, and I spoke with you, and here you are, you invited me to be on your show, and I asked to be on your show, and here we are together, and today I'm on your show. So why is it important to harvest? Did I say we were going to be on the show yesterday? No, but here I am today on your show. But let me explain this to you. Harvesting is different than hunting. If we want to hunt and start sending messages off about car ads, and if we want to start sending messages all day that we're open, and you want to show a dealership how you're wiping down their dealership for them to come in all day long. See, everybody's doing this right now. They're all wiping their car dealerships down, saying, come on in and see me. We're nice and clean here. I mean, come on. Are you kidding me? That the whole world is doing the same exact thing. That's not harvesting. What that's doing, that's hunting. That's just, you're still hunting, right? What we need to start doing is the harvesting part means that this. What you say out of your mouth now is just as critical as making a video. You see, everyone's talking about digital marketing. Oh my God, we got to go digital. But once you do go digital, whatever comes out of your mouth will affect your business. And that means this: loose lips sink ships. Every single time. Remember those words. Loose lips sink ships. And those that bombard people right now, bombard people with so much stuff, they're going to be remembered as the guy that, oh God, that guy during the coronavirus, he was attacking me with all these ads, and it was just like, oh God, it was overkill. We have a virus
Jason,
going on.
If you were on the floor right now, if you were taking ups, right? You're back on selling cars. What would be your specific strategy? Because here's the deal, and I've been having a lot of these types of conversations. A lot of the salespeople that I'm talking to right now, they're a little frustrated because it is push, 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 right? Because we're trying to get as much as we can out of the situation, right? Obviously, things are compressed. Some dealers are working by appointment only. Some are completely shut down on the sales side of things. So, as a salesperson who's getting, told basically, you got to be aggressive, you got to do more, you got to, you got to step up more than ever. What would you do? What would be your strategy?
Step up. I'd be prepared when they got there. They would already know my name when they got there. They
But
would
how? I
already
mean,
have my.
would your push
I
be
would have
that? Would it be that?
Well, I have my
Would it
app
be that
next to the
message?
tab.
Would it be that
It
message of,
would be
hey, buy right now?
Yeah, it would be a video message that I would send over to them, letting them know who I am, what I am, that the car is going to be ready, pulled up, and don't worry about anything. And then, I would let them know who I am first. So I would break down that meet and greet. So we cut that down half the time because people don't want to bother. They're not going to play games anymore. And so I'm going to make sure that I get them ready and prepared when they get there. Because that's what the world is going to be more about, is preparation of those people being there. And so let me give you an example, Herb. If an internet lead came in and it came in, what is the first thing that every single lead should have is a video walk around. Why can't somebody go out on every lead and walk around that car, talk about it, tell the customer, thank you so much for the lead. Thank you. My name is Jason. I'll be ready for you at 12. The car's going to be pulled up. And I'm ready for you. I'm excited about working with you. Whether you get the person in or not, but I tell you what, you're going to blow them away. That's digital marketing today.
Sure.
That's
Yes.
digital marketing.
It's a differentiator for sure.
I mean, but remember that here's the problem. Just yesterday, you had to go into a dealership and you had to like sit there for 3 hours with the owner and manager and talk to them about why all these things are important. Now it takes the pandemic for somebody to wake up and realize that this is important. Now everybody's a digital master right now.
Right, but okay, so let's talk about that for a second. But before, I just want to come back to make sure that it's clear. I just want to get your perspective on things, right? Because you said something that was very powerful when you talked about harvesting versus hunting, right? The message from GMs, from GSMs is hunt. We have all these incentives. We have all these deals. Well, I shouldn't say that. I'm not going to say that that's everybody, but a lot. I've seen a lot of that. A lot of the messaging out there is about buy, right? And you talked about harvesting. Right. You talked about harvesting, which was really powerful. It's about, hey, the message has to be there, right? I'm here to help. I'm here to service. You know what I mean? What can I do during this time to show my appreciation? So as a salesperson right now who's getting conflicting messages of, hey, we have all these incentives, we got to push these sort of a deal, versus, hey, Mr. Customer, call your book of business and be like, hey, I care. How you doing? How can I help you? What would be your strategy?
Listen, exactly what you just said is exactly, you just said it. And it's about what we say to the customer and letting them know that when they come in, you have nothing to worry about. We do know the problem. We know about this epidemic. We know about, for right now, we know that, okay, we have this problem, but we do have a lot of stuff covered. But in the meantime, we're going to make sure we stay apart from each other. And we're going to make sure until this answer is ready, we are going to make sure that your safety and all that is first before we go crazy in the deal. Now listen to me, we're going to make a sweet deal for you anyway, right. Because we have to. Giving these cars away right now, they know that. The customers already know it. You don't have to sit there and say it 10 million times about your 84 months. The factories are shut down. You kidding me? They don't know it? Of course they know it. That's why they're buying right now. I mean, hello, you're not buying because you're a great salesman. They're buying because they know they can get a deal right now. Okay? Listen, right now is the time we're going to go in there and we're going to let these people know by video. We're going to take care of them when they're there, that the car's pulled up. We're going to show them the vehicle. And we're going to do all these great things and let them know. And we're going to give them our card. And we're going to let them inform us. We're going to introduce ourselves. We're going to be a little softer, okay? And we're not going to be so hard-ass. We're going to be softer. We have to be.
Yeah, you know what? My thought is, listen, I'm a marketer, right? So I'm always gonna push to put the incentives and all those things out. Like you got to put your best foot forward, sort of a thought process. But at the same time, I also realize that things are different, and those types of messages right now, it's conflicting because you want to have those out there for the people that are auto intenders or they're looking to buy a car in these times. But for everybody else, it can be a little abrasive, or it can be a little like a little bit much, right? Especially if you lost your job, maybe you're living paycheck to paycheck, and now you're getting bombarded from all these companies that are all, they're trying to do the right thing for their companies and their employees, which is sell so that they can keep their business open. But that personal touch, I think it's such a powerful thing right now. That harvesting, like you put it, I think that's smart during these times because it shows that you care when everybody else, or not everybody else, I don't like to generalize, but when a lot of people are just sending their offers and just trying to sell their product, you know what I mean? And so my thought is that, sorry, let me just finish this comment here. My thought is that, is it more effective to call because I'm 100% that right now we should be doing a lot more database marketing than ever. We should be relying on our CRMs 100%, those customers that have already bought from us, for sure. But we should be calling, in my opinion, and just being like, hey, Mr. Customer, how you doing? This is Herb from ABC Motors. I just want to make sure that you're okay during this time. I know things are crazy. Just want to let you know that we're here. And then shut up, right? And let the customer tell you, oh, you know what, actually, I've been thinking about getting my car serviced, but I don't know what you guys are doing. I don't feel safe. And then go from there. But just show that you care, and that's it. That's your intent. That's the objective of the call. If it evolves into buying a car or setting an appointment for service, great. But otherwise, just keep it about the message, right? About the objective. I don't know. That's just how I think, but I don't know.
Well, no, you're in the right thing. I'll give you an example. When I was in car sales, I was the top salesman every month, never lost. For years, top salesman. I got a suitcase, 5 suitcases filled with plaques and awards. It doesn't matter anymore. But what does matter is 33 years in this business. I tell you what really worked. I used to walk inside the service shop, right? And I would be there in the waiting area, and everybody would sit there, and I would yell out, who needs the car today, people? I know your car's broken, but I can get you into one. And everyone will start giggling, right? But one person out of that group would say, what can you do for me? I want out. And I knew it. That's why I said it. I didn't say it. So
that's smart.
It's an indirect conversation that makes the conversation lead to the objective. But the objective still is to make sure that customer is completely satisfied. And again, I read an article today. You wouldn't believe this. I couldn't believe it when I was reading. It said the coronavirus is here. The world is going to change, and we're going to have to start taking care of our customers. I couldn't believe it. For 4 years, I've been pounding LinkedIn about this. I said, how many dealerships send a thank you video to every single customer? Every single customer, how many people get a thank you video? And they say, I don't get a thank you video. None of them do. You kidding me? Everybody gets a thank you video. That's digital marketing. How many people, when they leave a dealer, write something on Facebook about the dealer, make sure they do it before they leave. That's what they're supposed to be doing. You're supposed to leave the dealership when the customer leaves, and you're supposed to make them go on their social media and talk about you. You're not supposed to talk about yourself on social media. Your customers are supposed to be talking about you. How many times do we have to ask our salespeople to get a review, write a review, when we know Google's the #1, and then you got stores that are 3.1, 3.2. Right now is the time to build your reviews and get those reviews up there if you got to do that. Right now is the time to utilize what it is, because the reviews are the foundation of your business, the walls of your foundation. I mean, the walls of your building are not anything but what people see online. We are going into an online world. We have been, unfortunately, I can't stand it. Believe it or not, I built an app that I knew was going to make it, and I knew it was going to do okay. But at the same time, it still struggles because people struggle with before the coronavirus, by the way. People would say, oh, screw that shit. I don't need digital marketing. I don't need that. We don't need this. We don't. I said, can I ask you something, sir? How many of you people say thank you to the customers when they leave and look at the camera and say thank you? And the guy says to me, none. I said, are you kidding me? We're in 2020. Not one of you can say thank you to the camera. Look at the customer. Do you know how a wow factor that's going to be? Do you know what you're doing to the customer by doing that? They're going to be at the restaurant eating, and someone's going to open that up and look at it and look what my customer just did. They sent a thank you video. Isn't it time right now to start thanking God that we're even here, most of us? And isn't it time to start thanking every single customer that we have? Thank them. Even if we video and say thank you.
How do you see this because that's a great point, right? And to, you know, it kind of covers what you alluded to earlier, that now everybody's paying attention to digital and everybody wants to be it. Now everybody's a digital or a digital marketer or a digital exporter. They're willing to do the things that we should have been doing already. But how do you think that this is going to propel that? How is this pushing that forward? In what way?
How is it going to be? All the deals,
yeah, like the current situation.
Yeah. I tell you what's happening. Okay, toilet paper went up to $10 a roll, and so will your digital marketing too. Because everybody in the world is going to become a digital marketer because there's not going to be enough people, and everyone in the world is going to claim they can do this and that and whatever, right? But I promise you this: if you've never sold cars, I don't want you to sell nothing to me. Let me explain this to you. Okay, if you haven't been in the business, all right, you can't market anything. Okay, you can't market something you've never sold. You can't market it. If you've never shoveled snow up on a car, if you've never shoveled car up on the snow, you've never done it, you've never stood out there for hours like salespeople do, you've never negotiated the deal, you've never done it, you're not a digital marketer, buddy. You're a digital marketer of business, but there's a difference between digital marketing and a dealership. And there's a whole difference, okay? You might as well go work for somewhere else, because if you're going to work in this business now, you better been in this business for a long time, doing this business hardcore. Because right now, dealerships are going to need people now more than ever. They need people now more than ever. People that have the knowledge, that know about it, that know about Facebook. How do you think Al Patron got 500,000 followers? How do you think Al Patron got his name out, blew it up? How do you think he did it? How do you think that all these people do it? When I started, I worked with a company called Death Wish Coffee. They landed their product on the moon. They won a Super Bowl commercial. They're in every Walmart's in the world right now, right? How did I help them out? Okay, how do you do it? Imagine how big that is. You imagine taking your product and landed on the moon.
So I think you know, and this is a good evolution to the conversation, because a lot of people, again, I hate to generalize, but a lot of the posts and a lot of the information that I see out there is about the top, right? Like what are we going to do from the executive level? Like, how are we going to manage this crisis, sort of a deal. But what about at the individual level, at the salesperson level, at the frontline level? You know what I mean? Where are those conversations? Where are those people? Like, what are their thought process? How are they going to time, or should be thinking about evolving?
Do you know what I wanted to do? I was going to have my very first roundtable coming up, but I can't now. Guess what? I can't do it this year. I wanted to do it this year, and I'll blurt it out what it is. You know what I wanted to do? I wanted to have a roundtable with the top salesmen in all the country. I wanted 2 of the top salesmen in each state to come. I was going to have 100 salespeople come to a roundtable meeting and hear what they got to say. Because guess what? It's always going to be about your salespeople. At the end of the day, it will always be your salespeople, what they are doing, how productive they are, what is their intent for the day, what are their plans for the day, what are they doing. If they're not doing anything, you'll get nothing. That's pretty simple mathematics, right? I mean, that's what Next Sale was built on. Next Sale was built on a platform to make everybody do their job and help them, coach them away through their job to make sure all these things are done daily so that they can succeed, so they can get their next sale. That's called harvesting. When we do the things that Next Sale is all about, which is the app, it's in their hand, and it works awesome. It's incredible. It does video, it does graphics, it does social media, it does reviews, it does it all. But like you said, it's about the salespeople. And when I wanted to have that round table, the reason is is because I wanted to hear, and I wanted the world to hear, what the salesmen are doing that makes the difference. Because you think that I want to hear from a manager of a dealer what he did? He didn't do it. The salespeople did it. You understand? You can fire that manager tomorrow and you'll still do 1,000 cars a month. Glenn Lundy just left off Paris, Kentucky. They're still doing 1,000 cars. Glenn's not there no more, right? Listen, it's the system. It's a system. Once the system is put in place, it will be locked in. There's no system in so many dealerships. There's no process. And people are not following the process. And what makes me so passionate and what makes me excited, that's why I train so good, because I want to get these guys in there. I want to get under their skin. Because I don't want to go in there and go, hey guys, reviews are really important here. I want to tell you that. You got to go. Just by the way, you want to go on social media, guys, because when you go on social media, there's going to be a lot of people watching you. No, you want to get them excited. You've got to be excited about what you're doing. If the sales guys are not excited about what they're doing, they won't do it. They won't do it. And therefore, when the world opens back up, back up, Herb, guess what? We need to get back to work. We need to really get back to work.
And that's a great segue too, to kind of move the. There is no question that there's going to be pent up demand, like you said, when the time comes for us to get back to work fully, right? Because all those people that waited and all that good stuff. So in your talks, right, or in your trainings, and I'm sure you're doing a lot of virtual stuff right now just because of the current situation, but do you see that salespeople are taking this opportunity to get digital ready, learn about digital retailing? Are they thinking about those things right now? Are they making the steps? Are they learning that stuff? Are the dealers teaching those processes of how to be more online ready, how to be more, like you said, more sell more digitally? Like, are you seeing those efforts being made at stores, in particular the ones that are shut down? Because the excuses of time, and that's one of the positive things about this whole situation, is that a lot of people have time, right? A lot of time to think, a lot of time to evolve, a lot of time to work on themselves, a lot of time to fix things that they've been pushing off for years or whatever. So what are you seeing as far as those efforts?
Okay, Herb, let me explain to you understanding. I'm sure we all know this, but when you look at a board, that daily board, you walk in and you see all the salespeople's names, right? And you see how many cars they all sold. It's always the same 5 guys that are on the bottom every month. And the managers know it, right? The managers know it. And guess what? Who are you going to blame? Is it going to be the salespeople or the managers? Now, let me tell you who I blame, okay? I blame the sales managers every single time. Because when they put an ad in the paper, it said, we will train. Then when you go into a dealership and you ask, do you get any training? And they said, we've never got any training. They just put me on the floor. But that's not what the magazine and the article said. That's not what they said when they were hiring you. So in other words, the results come out of the training. The trained people, the coached people, like Sean Kelly and you, people that do things to lift others and to push people forward, right? Those people engage more because they're learning more and they're getting the idea. The ones that are not learning are the ones that are fighting the system, or their managers are mad at them because they have a relationship problem, or they just don't want to do it. And that's why they're on the bottom 5. So when you go to reopen your store, you better reconsider who your bottom 5 is. And you got to say to yourself, we can't have a bottom 5 anymore, guys. We're in a different age now. It just said that we must take care of our customers more than ever. But I'm sorry, people. We should have been taking our customers care a long time ago, and people should have been listening to this stuff 4 or 5 years ago. But instead, now, when the coronavirus is here, everybody's doing it now, and they're forced to do it. But they still will not have the answer when they go to do it. The salespeople have to like what they're doing. They have to love the product they're working with. It's got to be simplified. Simple. Remember this. Any tool you put in somebody's hand has to be simplified. They love simple. Once you make it difficult and hard, they're going to look at this thing and be like, oh, God, this is stupid. But if you make it easy and fun.
No, I agree. I agree with that. But at the same time, you know, it can be simple, but if you don't have a process, right? If you don't have, like you said, if you don't get the managers involved and get them to buy into it and get them to implement it and care about it themselves and pass that down, then it's really, really hard. You know what I mean? Because it's very easy, especially if you're a top salesperson, right? Because if you're a top salesperson, you think you don't, you're fine. You're obviously your numbers are good. You're cranking 20, 30, 40, 50 cars. Nobody can tell you anything, right? And with good reason, because you have results, and it's hard to argue with results. But for me, the challenge right now is, you know, are we gonna take advantage of this opportunity? Are we gonna look the opportunity for what it is? Like if I was selling cars, like I would be studying a lot about you talked about earlier. I would be studying digital retailing, how to sell, you know, what's that online process look like? How can I connect with customers who only want to purchase online? How can I get myself more ready, right, for the digital interaction? Because that's what this whole thing is going to create. It's going to create a lot of digital interactions. You know what I mean? And not just for the car business, I'm talking in general.
Okay. So here we're gonna go into it. Okay, I'm gonna get right into it because I've been in hundreds of dealerships and I spoke to a lot of them. Okay, and this is what it comes down to. You speak to the owner, and the owner says, "You know what? I want this program, and I want it now." Right? And the owner wants it because he's excited about it, right? And so if he's excited about it, then what should happen is that the managers that work for the owner are supposed to manage what the dealer owner wants, right? Only what the dealer owner wants. If that's what he wants, that's what he wants. Now the managers have to not buy in. If they got to buy in, we don't want to do business with them. We want them to want in. You know what? If I ever hear buy-in from anybody, you got to get him to buy in. I got to get him to buy in. No, you don't get him to buy in. If you got to get them to buy in, then don't do business with them. You know, there's more than enough dealers in the world that want in, that are going to need it now, and they want it. So those are the ones you want to deal with. That's the people you got to get to buy in. Those are the people that are going to fall off anyway. So when the managers come on, they got to be respectful to the owner, and they got to say, this is it, and then this is them that locks it in. Now all of a sudden, the children, the dealership, need to listen to what the owner and manager want. And they've got to put their foot down and say, this is the process, this is what we're doing, and this is how we're going to do it. And if we're not going to do it, then go home. Because guess what? In McDonald's, you know, which is a great job. And by the way, that was my first job. Although I did throw a temper tantrum in there. You probably can see I threw a French fry. But I'm not talking about that right now. But my point to you is this, here's the deal. The salespeople, they need to be directed which is good. It's good direction. It's why we have the military. The military are veterans and people in the military. I love them, man. I wanted to go in the military, but I'm deaf. I'm already in. So I passed the test, but I didn't pass the physical. So I'm deaf. I can only hear half of what you hear. So why is that good for me? It's because deaf people can read people really well. So my whole life, I had to read your language. And a lot of sales people, they don't even know how to read language, body language. They can sit there and talk for 3 hours, and they don't even know they have a sale. Language tells everything. But besides that, the managers and owners got to want it. The salesmen at that point have to respect the owners and managers, and it all has to come together now more than ever. It can't come from the top halfway. You know what I mean? It can't. Right. And another thing is owners need to zip it and let the leaders lead. That's what you bought them for. That's what you're paying them to do. You want financial freedom? Yep.
Do you think that you can lead? Do you think that you can lead within the team without the title? Is that possible in the car business, or do you have to have do you have to have that title in order to lead?
Listen to me. Every salesman there is the manager. Look, the title. The title causes the ego. The titles what create everybody wanting the job. Everybody wants to be the boss. Everybody wants to tell everybody what to do and point the finger. Everybody wants, but you know what? They can't do it. Not everybody can do it. Not everybody walks the walk. You know, they talk it, but they don't walk it. And if they haven't sold cars before, by the way, like I said, I was salesman in a month every single month for years. I ran the top Facebook pages in the country. I built people up. I made billion-dollar companies. I've done great. And I'm not saying to brag. And it's not an ego thing. I don't go on my LinkedIn and brag about me. What I always do is say, love your salespeople. Forget about you. It's your salespeople all the time. It will always be and forever will be. And technology and digital marketing will not work without them. Remember that even if we switch, you know, we still need a team of people to do it. You're going to hire an outside agency. You do not want an outside agency doing your digital marketing. Learn to do it in-house. In-house. Unless they can do other great things, great. But do it in-house. Now is that time. It's not hard. This is not rocket science. What do you think they learned it from? They learned it from somewhere. And that's what we do. We teach them how to do it in-house. Listen, we're going into an era now where people are going to price gouge now. And everyone's going to say, you know what? I want this much money because I can do this. But you know what? You're not guaranteed it because you're still not guaranteed it.
Yeah, but
when you run an ad on TV, you're not guaranteed how many.
No, and I totally agree with that. And that's what that was the premise of my question, because I'm thinking that there's going to be a lot of change, right? And there's going to be, like we talked about, people that are going to have to get ready. You know what I mean? That we're doing 20, 30, 40, 50 car deals a month. And this thing's going to change. It's going to change the dynamic. And the things that you were doing before are not necessarily going to work right now. So it's going to impact your process, right? And if you're not paying attention to that, you can find that it's going to actually allow you to sell less cars. So, you know, if you can't wait all the time for your management to step up, because sometimes you just have weak managers. You know what I mean? But if you're a salesperson at a dealership. Yeah, if you're a salesperson at a dealership and you're taking the initiative and you're educating yourself and you're putting in that effort and you adjust your process and you start to have success, you know, is it possible for you to lead? Is it possible for you to show that through your actions, or maybe take some people under your wing? And you know, I mean, what are your thoughts on that? Do you think that we'll see a lot more of those kinds of things happening?
I think that what happens in general, okay, and this happens in a lot of my stores, is a lot of people graduate from net sale. In other words, because what happens is they learn my system, they learn how to do it on Facebook, and they get it all, and they start getting it, and they say, you know what, we don't need an app anymore. Our guys are pretty much trained. It got them in the shape, it built the habit. We already are doing it now naturally. Everybody's on their Facebook all day, and what I did was I developed a habit, even though they're not on the app, but they're only on it for a year or 2 years or whatever, they were on it. But the point of it is what happened was when one person does really well with it, the next person that's sitting next to them, they're going to copy it. They're going to follow. But then you're still going to have those lazy people that are not doing anything. And that's what I'm talking about. That's what managers need to get in there now and start getting those lazy people ready, because the lazy people are going to have a massive impact for big problem. We're going to be grooming a lot of people. We can't groom anybody anymore. We can't sweep them in when they go. We sweep them off the parking lot. We've got to take care of them from the beginning to the end. Say thank you to the customer. You know, we've got to remind them who we are before they come in. We've got to, if there's a problem, our app will notify every dealer immediately, and everybody gets a text what the problem is, so they can get back to the customer with the problem. Remember this, Herb, think about this. You call me up and you're pissed off at me right now, right? Because you just bought a car. This is digital advertising, by the way. Think about digitally. My app, the minute you start complaining, I would say to you, Herb, I'm so sorry you're having that experience right now. I'm so sorry your car is broken down. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to send you a link to your phone right now. I want you to yell on there and complain. I want you to swear like you are now. I want you to yell and scream. And as soon as you fill that out, every manager's phone goes off. Every manager's phone goes off. And then they go on the dashboard and they can read it immediately. Now they get back to the customer immediately. We have to sell with passion, but we still have to have compassion for our people. Because when we go in the digital retailing world, right, remember that these people are in the digital world. They know how to go on Facebook and write something bad about you. They know how to go on Google and write something bad about you. That's the very first thing they do is threaten you. See, in the digital world, there's so much to know. Guys like us, I've been doing this 33 years. I lived it. I breathed it. That's why they call me Captain Excel, right? Right? They didn't call me Captain Excel. But what I'm saying is, in this digital world, we have to sell with passion. We have to sell with passion, and we have to have compassion for our people for real. For real. In other words, for real. In other words, we need to step up and say, instead of a quick thank you, there's a difference. You know what? I take you out to dinner. Let me tell you something. I take you out to dinner, Herb, and you and me go out to dinner. We have a nice dinner. And I buy you dinner. You know what you're going to say to me at the end of dinner? Thank you. You know what I'm going to say? What the hell is that? Thank you. They all say thank you. Everybody says thank you. I just said thank you. I just got my dinner made just now. I said thank you. Right? We go, thank you. Okay? Quickly, thank you. You know what we've been doing our whole life? We've been saying thank you. Now with the coronavirus here, thank you has a whole new meaning now. Thank you has a whole new meaning. If we live through this coronavirus, and we make it through, all of us, and there's so many people that lost their families, we better say thank you a lot more than we better mean it. And you better look at that damn camera and say to that customer how thankful you are for that sale that you got today. And you better do it to every single customer, every single time, whether you're in the service department. Whether you're
That's dope, man. Yeah, no, I like that. That's a great thought. And I think it's, for what we're going through right now, it puts a lot of things into perspective for sure. Dude, it's been awesome, man. I appreciate your passion, man. I love it. I want to give you some time to talk app and in particular. Well, but before we do that, I have one more question for you. I don't want this to skip my mind because you brought it up right now. You mentioned digital retailing, and I just wanted to get your perspective because I know you see a lot of dealers, obviously your connection with El Patron. And so I'd be curious to know what your thoughts on that. I've been hearing a lot of conversations about digital retailing. How do you see that evolving now with this? Do you see customers actually buying more cars online? And if that's going to go more to the whole process online where it's a Carvana type of an experience, or do you think they just want to kind of start the deal online and then go to the dealership and finish it off?
I see a lot of failure. Because in order to be a digital marketer in a dealership, you had to have sold cars and you had to have been in the business. Because, listen, remember this.
Well, yeah, but I'm talking.
Failure coming from dealers.
Widget, the digital retailing experience where customers can go online and start their deal, buy their car online, that whole jazz.
Okay, I can tell you now that the world is not changing overnight. We're not going to change overnight. People still want to go in and look at the car. People are still going to go online like they normally do. Yes, it's going to pick up a lot. It's going to pick up a lot because it'll be a while before the world ever gets back to normal. Now, remember, if it gets back to normal quicker, then it's going to go back quicker. But the longer this goes on, the more the digital is going to pick up, be a bigger deal because it's going to be a way of life. But if we get back to work immediately, this will be forgotten just like anything else. Because let me tell you, it's almost like Veterans Day. People seem to forget Veterans Day. Veterans Day is every day of the year. 4th of July, they have the patriotic songs for one day. You know what I mean? And again, in the digital world, you're going to see a massive amount of it, and you're going to see everyone switching to it now. But it's not going to be the ending outlet. In other words, everything will go back to normal. It will calm down. everything will come back. Even Dr. Ben Carson, said, guys, come on, we're taking it way out, and so again, and everybody is what we call panic selling. They're all panic selling. They don't know what to do. So what they're doing is the only thing they know now is get on a camera and start talking about themselves. And then, that's it. But remember when I said this, loose lips sink ships. And in the end, when you go back to digital marketing and when we go back into this, many businesses are going to fail because the lips are not loaded correctly. And by the way, let me give you an example by this. If I said, do a video walk around, and I said, here's a lead, and you got a lead that came in from AutoTrader, you go on cars.com site it is, you go outside and walk around the car, and you do like a 1-second video walk around. And I'm the BDC manager, and I'm looking at this, and I'm watching that video, because that's what Next Sale does. We can watch that video, but I see it, and I can say to you, hey, Herb, I ask you to go outside, show the customer the car. I think laziness is still going to be a big problem. And I think what we need to do is coach the lazy now. To coach the lazy, we need to prepare to be strong. We need to prepare to be strong. And we need to know what works for real. So let me just ask you, I said about going out to dinner. If I sent you a thank you video for taking me out to dinner, for me, hey, Herb, it's me, Jason. I just want to say thank you so much for taking me out to dinner last night. Thank you so much. It really means a lot to me. And I sent you a video instead of just saying thank you. Wouldn't you appreciate that more than just a little thank you?
Of course, man. It'd be dope. It'd be awesome. You know what I mean? It'd be different. That's the word. It's different. It's different.
It's different. It's different.
Yeah, it would leave an impression. It would leave an impression. It's the same thing. You're essentially doing the exact same thing, but it would leave an impression. You're absolutely correct. I agree.
Isn't that what we're supposed to be doing? Is leaving impressions?
Yeah.
I don't know people are trained on. Listen, our apps grow units, and you don't even have to have any sales training. You have to have no sales training in our app to put units in there.
Perfect segue, man. Tell us about the app. We got a couple minutes left, so I just want to give you an opportunity to tell us a little bit. But maybe talk to us too about how would you use it now to combat the situation, or when we get back to full capacity or whatever.
Well, I'm going to tell you what I did, and you're probably going to be blown away right now, and probably most people will. Let's think of it this way. My apps are in over 1,000 hands right now, right? So all those salespeople are my people that I sat down with and trained them, and I feel sad for every one of them. And so all these dealers are on my app right now, and they got to pay me a check every month, and they got to pay me, and they got to pay me for training when I go in. So I've decided with Next Sale, as of yesterday or a couple of days ago, Next Sale is now going to be a free app. Herb, pop your face back in there for a minute if I can see you for a second. Because I want to see you for a minute. I'm looking at you on this.
You said it's going to be free?
The app is now a free app. So I get $1,000 roughly a month for the app, roughly. And I get a couple thousand, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,000, whatever I get for training. Right? It just depends. Well, guess what I decided to do? The app is totally free now. Every salesman in the country can have it for free. Every dealer can have it for free. Everybody will have it for free for the life of the pandemic, meaning that for the life of the pandemic means not from the day after they go back to work. I'm talking about months until this country gets back to normal. It's going to be free. So guess what? Guess what, all the rest of those people out there, those digital marketers? Well, guess what? There's a free app, totally free, going to help the guys out with marketing. It's going to build reviews. It's going to send thank you videos. It's going to do all the things that the dealer wants to do. And guess how much they're going to pay me? Nothing. It's going to be absolutely free to the dealership. So why am I doing that? Why? It's simple. It's called humanity. It's called humanity. My life
Dude, that's
sucks right now
incredible.
without working with. Yeah, you know what? I got no overhead. I don't have like a bunch of people that I got to pay people. Well, oh my God, they're all going to be out of work. Nope. But guess what? Yeah, I'm going to load this app up free in all the hands of everybody I can, and they can have it for free. And I hope they succeed in life. Because guess what, Herb? My life sucks without working with people and being with people. I love people. I can take a dealership and turn it around in 20 days. I've taken a dealership from 250 units, 275 to 600 units, and they remain at 450, 500 units a month.
Wow.
Right?
Wow.
I do great things for dealers. I've taken a dealership that was going out of business in 6 months to the #1 dealership in the state. I've taken another dealer that was just doing okay, #1 in the state. This is what I do with the app, but the app is the knowledge that was in it. It's not an app, it's a process. Remember we
That's
talked
the
about
thing,
it.
yeah.
It's a
The app in itself is a tool. It's just a tool. If nobody uses it or they're not using it correctly, then I totally agree.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to load up everybody for free, because now they're going to be able to build their reviews for free. Their Google reviews for free. Imagine that. All those companies that are going to price gouge now, reviews are free. Your branding is going to be free. All your salesmen are going to have it free. You're going to be able to get social media images out free. You're going to be able to make videos and thank everybody free. You're going to be able to go to the service department, have the service department say what's wrong with the car free. The service advisors are going to have it to thank their customers free. The parts department's going to have it. The BDC rep that gets the lead, they're going to be able to get it to their customers and say, come on in today, Mr. Jones. My name is Wendy. I'm the BDC rep. Free, free, free. And guess what? I'm not going to charge a dime. You can't beat free when the world is hurting right now. Just like us, they've got a stack of bills right now. And you know what? Some people don't care. And they don't care about their money. And they'll keep attacking them. They'll keep going for the throat. Leave them alone. They just lost all their employees. They just lost their employees and they're still selling them shit. Herb, what
Dude, that's
happened to
amazing, man.
humanity?
That's such a great offer, man. That's such a good thing that you guys are doing. That's incredible, man. Thank you so much for, just thinking about the industry, man, and doing your part. That's pretty incredible. I'm glad that I can help you get the word out there, man. That's thanks.
Now, Herb,
All right, dude. So we are getting close to that time. There is one question that I ask everybody that comes on the show. And that question is, where do you see the automotive industry headed in the next 5 years and why?
in the next 5 years, I see the automotive industry tightening up on process ever more than ever. I see the automotive industry tightening up on process more than ever. I see the automotive industry being more appreciative of every single customer that walks in the door. I see the owners of the dealerships starting to get their foot back into the game, get off their boats and get off their and getting back into the dealership and getting back to work. I see in 5 years, I see all these trainers, going into dealerships and training these people, their training. I see coaches like Sean Kelly going in and helping dealers and yourself going into dealers and giving them the advice they need. I see these vendors and partners, many great people out there who have different talents offering their services. I see a lot more of that. I see a lot more conferences now. I see everybody, learning more. So I think the next 5 years is going to be an extreme learning curve. But I also think that in the next 5 years, that we need to hire right from the beginning. We need to train. We need to implement. We need to make sure we're taking care of our people. Culture is not a if we're going to have a culture, we're going to have it, and everybody's going to get along. And we're not going to have animosity in the dealership. We're not going to have fighting between service and parts. We're going back to work, and we all want the world to be as one, but we can't get the dealership to be as one. We need to be one in the dealership. And when everybody comes together, everybody wins every single time. That's what Next Sale was founded on. That's what 5 years is going to come out. 5 years is going to be a big, big time for everybody that open their eyes and be grateful that we even have a dealership and that you even have a job. Because 16.6 million people are out. We're going to be grateful. We're going to start being grateful. That's what I see for the next 5 years. Because I don't think I'm ever going to forget this day for the rest of my life, ever.
Right on,
I went into the grocery aisle today. 6 feet. I got to stand behind 6 feet. I got somebody with a mask on. Right? It's unbelievable. I got this one-way aisle in the grocery store. You know what I mean? I don't want to live this life like this. And how lucky were we? We were so lucky for so long. And we're taking it all for granted. And some of us sat there at their desk and took their job for granted. And you know what? Next sale, nobody's taking anything for granted anymore. This is it. We're going to worry about our next sale. That's it. It's free. It's totally free. I'm not charging anymore. That's it. I'm done. My company is done. I'm doing it for free. I'm going to go work for a dealership. I'm going to be a GM. I'm going to do something else. But I'm going to have that app running automatically for free. I'm going to do what I got to do to make survive.
Right on, man.
That's it.
Dude, thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming on the show. I really appreciate it. You know, we were trying to do this session for a minute, so thanks for making it work. I am going to put your information in the show notes, so that people can reach out. They can learn more about this opportunity. Highly encourage you to check out the app. I've actually seen a demo of it myself. And it has a lot of functionalities. I think that, you know, especially if you're on the floor, man, if you're selling cars like this, it really does help you communicate with customers in a more seamless, more effective, but most importantly, more creative way. It's a different way of communicating with customers if you use it right. So definitely check that out. Jason Geras, everybody, thanks again, man, for coming on the show. That's all the time we have for today. If you haven't done so, please make sure to share this podcast, share this episode with somebody that can benefit from this information so that they can take it back to the dealership and implement in their day-to-day. Thank you so much for tuning in. That's all the time we have. And as usual, we'll talk later.
Thanks for making time for the Dealer Talk Podcast. The Dealer Talk Podcast. You do not want to